Today on our 2017 Thor Hurricane, we're going to be installing Sumo Springs Rebel Custom helper springs for the front axle. These front suspension enhancements will help provide you with an overall more comfortable and safer driving experience. They're going to absorb some of the impacts on the road, making it easier to maintain straight line of the vehicle. They're also going to help prevent sway as the Sumo Springs work with one another, so as the motorhome sways to one side, it'll compress and help push back, and the other side's there providing dampening as well to help maintain a nice level ride. The two-piece construction allows for unlimited suspension travel, and it's made of a micro-cellular urethane that's going to be shock absorbent and highly durable. In the end, these are going to provide you with a more comfortable ride going down the road and help reduce driver fatigue. We'll begin our installation underneath the motorhome, just above our front axle. To give yourself some extra room to work, I do recommend that you use your leveling jacks to lift up the front to give yourself some more clearance. And then, as always, you want to make sure that you use regular jack stands to support the frame, just in case the event that your leveling jacks don't hold. We're going to remove the jounce bumper on each side. You're going to use a 13mm socket to do so. And there is a nut located on top, so you may need to hold it with a wrench to prevent it from spinning. We're going to use a 15mm wrench to hold that nut. And now we'll set the bumper inside, as we're not going to be reinstalling it. You do want to save the hardware because we will be using that. Now we'll take our upper bracket. You want to take the shorter hex head bolts here, slide them down through the holes on each side, and then the hole in the center, we'll use that to reattach it to the frame where our jounce bumper used to be. We're using the factory hardware to do so. And now, before you fully tighten it all the way down, you want to make sure that the angled edges are towards the outside. So we're just going to flip it here, and the ears here will hook on the inside of the frame. Next, you'll take the upper portion of your spring, this is going to be the hollowed out side, and attach it to your upper bracket using the far holes that are spaced apart with the hardware we slid down previously. And then tighten them down with a 15mm wrench. Now we'll take our lower bracket and we want to attach the bottom side to it. You want to make sure you've got the correct orientation. So the flat L shape here is going to be towards the rear, and the side with a little bit of teeth on each side is going to be towards the front. We want to use the slot that is closest to the center of the vehicle. So we're going to use another small bolt, slide it up through the bottom, and we're going to attach the bottom side of our spring to that. And you can go ahead and tighten that down with the 15mm socket or wrench. Then position your lower bracket on top of your leaf spring, beneath the upper spring. The flange in the back should hit against the curled up part here, and the ears here in the front should rest on each side of the leaf spring. You can then take the carriage bolts that come in your kit and place them down from the top through the holes in the lower bracket. We're going to use the longer carriage bolts in the front and the shorter carriage bolts in the rear. Now on the bottom, we're going to place our clamp bracket. So those carriage bolts are going to slide down through the holes in that. And you'll follow it with a locking flange nut. We're going to repeat this same process for the other side of the spring. You can then go back and tighten on all your hardware with a 15mm socket. Want to make sure that you go back and forth, tightening it down evenly. And now with everything tightened down, we can repeat the same process on the other side. And that completes our installation of Sumo Springs Rebel Custom Helper Springs for the front axle on our 2017 Thor Hurricane.